This is gyoza. This is tofu. This is pot sticker. And this is our little mochi. Here's Tsunami. This is Mushu. This is Sushi. Hi again, this is Jenny with Creature Cove. We're here with Mochi, one of my little models. She's a crested gecko. Today we're gonna do a little bit of talking about how easy these crested geckos are if you're a beginner and you're looking for something easy to keep. The crested geckos are so cute. They're probably one of the cutest reptiles out there. Not only that, they're also the easiest. They have simple, easy to meet requirements. And if you do a good job and you keep those requirements that they need up, then they will live anywhere from like 15 to 20 years. So they'll be with you for a long time. We can start with their size. So they stay pretty small as far as reptiles go. From snoot to rumpus, they measure between 4 to 4.5 inches. If you include their tail, they're gonna be about 8 inches. Now she's a full-grown female, and as you can see, she fits nicely in my hand. She's super cute. They also come in a ton of different colors, or morphs as they call it for reptiles. She happens to be, she's fired down right now, and when I say fired, when you're talking about geckos, they kind of come into like 2 colors, I guess. They have their fired up color, which could be completely different from their color when they're fired down. So like right now she's fired down, which means she's calm and pretty chill, and she's kind of blah, I guess. She's a little colorless, a little dull, but when she is fired up, she is amazing. Well, fortunately with her, she's so chill that rarely does she fire up. So I wouldn't really even be able to make her fire up if I wanted to. She just is always chill, and that's one of the things I love about her, is she'll just sit with me forever. And sometimes she'll jump on my shoulder and we'll just go around and whatnot. Yeah, so when she's fired up, she becomes a like almost tricolor. She'll get black, brown, a couple variations of brown, a light brown, a tan, and then like that bright, not quite white, but like a, you know, like the white she's got on her now. She's super cute. And Mochi here is, what are you, Mochi? Let me look quick at her little note card. Oh yeah, she's a black and white pinstripe. So see the pinstripes down her back there along the 2 sides. So that's just one morph. There are so many. They have Dalmatians that actually have spots all over them, and they come in different colors. You've got Harlequins, which have like patterns down the sides. But I mean, like I said, you can get them in like reds, and they have the lily whites, and just so many different color variations, yellows, greens. They're beautiful. So you have a lot to pick from. When you get them and they're little, like you can get babies, like little hatchlings, and they're just amazing if you handle them from the beginning. And even if you get some as adults, most of them are very handleable and they deal with it pretty well. All right, so that's kind of like their size, this full grown again. And let's move on to their housing. Okay, so for housing, for a hatchling, you don't need a very big size at all. They are tree dwellers, so they like a vertical dwelling. So like a 10-gallon, if you can find one that's taller, then we're not too worried about length. It's more the height. And that, you know, anything 10-gallon, you could go bigger, but around that size for a baby is perfectly fine. And then as an adult, like a 20-gallon. We keep ours currently in the Zoomed and Exoterra 18 by 18 by 30, no, 18 by 18, I don't know. It's actually this size right behind me. So I think it's 18 by 18 by 24. So 18 long, it's 24 high, so plenty of room. But you don't even need one that big. We just like them to have space, and we like watching them live and climb. And then usually a screen top, you want one with a screen top. It does not, you don't want one that's completely glass and will hold in too much humidity, because they only need between like 50 to 70% humidity. Inside of the tank, you want a lot of tree branches, foliage. Cork bark is amazing. They love cork bark. A lot of sticks, branches, anything like that would be great. Some people will put a water bowl in there. A lot of people say you don't even need one. We don't use them for our geckos. We just mist them down really well at night. That seems to do great. They'll start licking it off the glass, and that's how they usually drink anyway. A lot of geckos won't even drink if there's a bowl in there, because in the wild they just lick the rain and the dew off of the leaves and the trees and plants and stuff like that. So super easy as far as housing goes. The other requirements is, when you think of a reptile, you think of heating and lighting and how much of a pain in the butt that can be. Luckily, with geckos, they usually do just fine at room temperature. So we keep our house at 70, and they do okay. They do great with that. But they can go down to even in the 60s at night in the winter. That's fine. And then lighting, they really don't. They don't need UVB. They don't need anything special as far as that. So I mean, our tanks are set. It's the tank, the screen top, bunch of clutter in there. We don't need any extra heating, any extra lighting, and they do perfectly. It's really about it for housing and lighting. As far as food, even their food is amazingly easy to deal with. We do the crested gecko diet. It's a powder diet. You just mix it with water, and they eat that. We do that. We change it out every 3 days. So we'll mix a new batch, feed it to them in their little cups, and then every 3 days we give them fresh powdered crested gecko diet mix. Comes in a ton of different flavors. Really kind of fun just changing it up and trying it and see what they like. Then we've got crickets. That's another thing. Some people will feed crickets, and some will do strictly just the diet, just the crested gecko powder diet, which is totally fine. You do not want to feed them super worms. A lot of people say once in a while is fine. We don't even chance it with our geckos. The exoskeleton of the superworms is just too hard for them to digest. It's too hard on their system. They just don't want to chance it, and they like the other stuff, so why do it? So other than that, we've got their food, their housing, their lighting, and their temps. Really, that's it. You would be totally set to have a gecko of your own with just those requirements. And again, they live 15 to 20 years, so you can have them for a super long time. Probably one of the longer living reptiles that we have. And you can enjoy them, and you can snuggle them, and they're so cute. Was that terrible?
No.
Subscribe and like. I have to start over.
Can I have a PlayStation now, please?
You finished your room and bathroom already?
My bathroom. I finished my bathroom. You should after my bathroom.
And bedroom.
Wait. Can I be in this video?
No.
It's done.
It's done.
Okay.
And if you want to, please like and subscribe.